My name is Joan.
My name is Hugh, and we've been living in the Villages for 16 years, and we've been in Sumter Grand for 13 months.
I was falling, and I was scared to be home alone, even when he was playing golf, and I just wanted the security of somebody around me and that little thing that I have that I can push a button if I need it.
And so we decided to look into some other options. And we went to a number of places, 3 buy-in places and 1 rental place.
Sumter Grand was in the neighborhood, but I really didn't know about it, surprisingly enough. My sister called me one day and said, "Hey, do you want to come to a meeting with us to see this new place?" And we had already been to all these other places. And I was listening to Tina, and it just struck me that this is really a cool place. So I called him on the golf course and just whispered, "I think I found it."
I think that what may have stood out the most about Sumter Grand was the sort of openness of a new building, a new place. It was open, and the apartment was spacious and bright, had a balcony, had a good view, high ceilings. I like that particular part about it. And the other part about it was when we finally boiled it down, we looked at some factors that dealt with the difference between buy-in and rental. One of the things that we liked about the buy-in places was the presumed security of being in a place that had continuing care and a continuing care contract that would give you assisted living or memory care if you needed it at a reduced rate as opposed to just renting from outside. So that was a big feature. And the thing that we liked about the rental place was the fact that we could rent, and then if we didn't like it, we could move. We could go back somewhere else. And so that really was the tough decision. And ultimately, we decided that we would try Sumter Grand, a rental place, and treat it as though we were going on a cruise. And we would take a 2-month cruise, and if it turned out that we liked it, then we would then make up our mind and decide what we're going to do with our house.
It is fun to live here. It's like a family. If we go away, we come home after a weekend or a week visiting our family, and it's like everybody's glad to see you. I just think it's very secure for me.
What I like about turned out to really like about Sumter Grand is what I would call the socialization aspect of it. As we've been here a while, we've gotten more involved in things. Sumter Grand was brand new anyway, so things were getting started. But a resident here started a golf outing group, and I participated in that and found that to be a really good time. Some of the activities we have here, like the trivia, where everybody gets involved and does things, found that to be very enjoyable. But I would say one of the really great things about Sumter Grand we didn't really think about is nightly dining. In Sumter Grand, the number of residents is low enough that you get to know and meet everyone here. And through the good auspices of the hostess in the dining room, we're always sitting with somebody new, somebody different, talking about issues and different things and sharing their life story and ours. And that's, I think, why Joan has said it sort of feels like family. You've always got somebody to talk with, and if you've had a slow day or a bad day or whatever, you go down to dinner and you wind up coming out of there cheered.
Absolutely. And another thing that I like is I'm not cooking. I don't miss it. I'm not going to the grocery store just for little odds and ends. Somebody cleans for me. I mean, that sounds like a spoiled person, but boy, it's pretty nice.
I am an accountant, a CPA, and so that was one of the things that I wanted to take a close look at, what those cost. And I find in talking with many people who don't do a proper comparison, it looks initially as though the monthly cost of being in a buy-in is going to be less than the monthly cost of being in a rental community. But you have to factor in that you have put in a down payment or a lump sum payment, which gets amortized over a certain period of time. So in order to figure out the total monthly cost of comparison of the two places, you have to do that. And when I did that, I realized, and it turned out, that the monthly cost of being in a buy-in community was more than the monthly cost of being in a rental community. And I say that, I did that as an accountant, but you don't have to be an accountant to take a look at those numbers and see what they turn out to be.
I just felt like Sumter Grand, it was so friendly. Everybody was welcoming us. Everybody was friendly. To me, it was the people that made the decision for me.
As a couple, we do not really miss our home, which we thought we would, but we do not.
We were afraid we would.
Yes, we were afraid we would. Right. I don't have to worry about fixing anything, repairing anything, what's going on and what do I have to worry about. That's all taken care of here. So that's another reason why we don't miss it.
The intangible surprise for me was that I immediately, and really immediately, felt bonded to friends that I never ever thought in a million years that it would be so easy to just pick up, and I think part of it is because everybody was in the same boat. We were all new and we were all interested in being friends, but it's the village's atmosphere too. I mean, I love the villages, and we didn't have to leave.
The biggest intangible to me to moving in was how easy it was to get to know people and to wind up doing things with people and saying, gee, I'm already in a group that I enjoy being with. It made it much easier to move out of our old neighborhood where we had lots of friends as well. But that was the intangible, was the ease of doing things with people that are here. I wanted to add something about the difference between rental and buy-in, which also turned out to be a factor, and that is, whereas the monthly fee for a buy-in is less than it is for a rental, when you take a look at the fact that you are buying into a buy-in place and you are giving up a portion of that buy-in every month, so you really have to amortize or depreciate that cost over a period of time. And when I put that down on paper, I discovered that the cost of being in a rental here at Sumter Grand was less than the monthly cost, the total monthly cost of being in a buy-in place inside the villages.
Even though it looked like a lesser amount for monthly rent, in the end it wasn't.
The combined cost of your monthly fee plus the amortization of your buy-in cost means that you're paying probably more than you would here on a monthly basis.